Thank y'all for tuning into Primitive Organic Garden and Guitar today. I wanted to play one of my favorite Beatles kind of slow ballads. I was playing this the other day in the rain on the porch. I like this song because there's no chorus. There's 3 verses, a weird bridge, and then another verse. I wanted to just play the song, but YouTube keeps reminding me in the whole analytics thing that all my videos that have how to in the title seem to get way more views than videos that don't have the words how to in the title. So it doesn't matter what I'm doing. If I'm harvesting carrots or whatever, if I put how to harvest carrots, the video gets way more views. Kind of strange. Everybody should know how to harvest carrots. But anyway, so I'm going to play this real quick, but since I'm going to put how to in the title so I get more views, not that I do this for views, but like I said, YouTube keeps reminding me which videos are doing better, and it's always the videos that say how to. So I'm going to show you all the chords real quick, and that way I can do my due diligence and pretend that it's a how-to video. There's not a whole lot of really difficult chords in this song, but the progressions are really interesting and beautiful. It starts out on G. You can play this as a G with, some type of sustained B or E in there if you want to. The song is full of sustained chords. You could just play it as a standard bar G. You could also play this as like a 3-finger open country chord G, but that's got too bright of a tone for a dark song like this, in my opinion. But if you're somebody who's just starting out and you can't play bar chords yet, you could go ahead and play the open G, but I would try to emphasize just the bottom couple of strings and not play those bright top notes too much. You could also play it as like a G power chord if you're somebody who is into power chords. Anyway, the next note's going to be B minor. A lot of people are going to play this down here. I actually kind of like the B minor a little bit higher on the neck, and you could also drop the pinky and have it as a B minor 7th. B minor 7th. Your third chord is going to be E minor. Almost everybody's going to play that as an open E minor here. Nice 2-finger easy chord. So I read the news today, oh boy. I like to let the E ring, and then while the bottom is ringing, come up here and then your next chord is going to be C. I like this as a C bar, and I usually take the pinky and make it a C bar 7 with a 6 on top. And then your next chord is going to be C with B in the bass. So whenever you see a chord that says letter/letter, most of y'all know this, that second letter is going to be the bass note. If you're playing this in a full band, you can just play the chord and have your bass player hit the bass note. If you're playing acoustic guitar by yourself, you need to hit that bass note. A C with a B in the bass is not the same thing as a C major 7th chord. It's the exact same notes, but because they're in a different order, the sound is very different. So a lot of people, when they say C/B, they're going to be tempted to just play it like here, like a C major 7. That's not actually what you're looking for here because it's a chromatic walk down. So if you're playing the C here, you're going to walk down to that B. If you're playing the C here, I think it's a little bit easier up here because you don't have this far distance to go. The fret's a little shorter, so you just walk it down a little bit, and that's a passing note. Then your next chord is going to be an A sustained 2nd. Most people are going to play this as a 2-finger open chord. This is almost an identical chord shape to E minor. You just move everything up. So instead of having the 2nd fret on the 2nd string and the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, it's going to be the 2nd fret on the 3rd string and the 2nd fret on the 4th string. So that's a really easy chord to play. You could also play that A sustained 2nd up here. I kind of like that better in this song because, again, there's a lot of sustained chords, and up here it just rings a little better. So the way to do that, you're going to play an A bar, like your standard A bar chord, and then you're just going to lift your wrist so that the highest 2 strings change. All the other strings are going to be the same. lift that wrist, so it goes from A to A sustained second. You hear a lot of sustained chords in like a lot of like church music, modern church music. They're really interesting because it kind of gives it this like choral type of feel, like there's more instruments than there really are. But yeah, this is going to be a harder shape for I think a lot of people to have it as an A bar with the sustained second. What are your sustained seconds? Okay, so anytime you see a chord that says sus2 or sus4 or whatever it says, that 2 or that 4 is always going to be that sequence of note in the major scale of that chord. The root of that chord. So if we have an A sustained second, we're just going to play an A major scale, and whatever the second note in the A major scale is, that note will get stacked on top of the A chord. So A major scale, actually that's an A blues. So your second note in your A scale, A major scale, is going to be a B, right? We got A, B. So that's your second note. So when you play the A chord, we have to somehow find a way to stack a B on top of all those A notes. So the easy way to do this is, like we said, we lift that wrist, and so your B string here just goes back to a B. See the difference there? So yeah, those are your sustained second chords. A lot of people are going to want to play this down here. I think we already kind of talked a little bit about this chord earlier, how it's the same shape as the E minor. It's way easier to just play it down here and it sounds almost as good. So that's pretty much the entire verse. The last line of the verse, they throw an F in there. So it's going to be, I saw the photograph. Right back to that E minor. And then it ends on a C. Then you go into your second verse. So it's all the same chords. G, B minor, wherever you want to play it. The E minor. And then we talked about our C. We're going to walk down to the B, which is not the same thing as the C major 7th chord, even though it's all the same notes because they're in a different order. Your C major 7th chord is here. Your C/B is here. And then we got our A sustained second, which is easy down here, or a little bit harder up here. And that's it. And then after all of those 3 verses, it goes into this like weird, cool, different key, double tempo, I don't want to say bridge, but it's all easy chords. Fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. Found my way downstairs. Now this is a weird chord. This is a B7 sustained 4th, which you can't really play up here very well. So what's the 4th note in a B major scale? 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th note in a B major scale is going to be an E. So if you're playing your B7 here, it's kind of hard to put an E in there. I guess you could put it, that's kind of the E there. So I think it's a lot easier to play it down here. And so you're going to do your B7 chord shape down here. And then you're just going to allow the highest string to play open, which would be your E, right? This is an E, and the 4th note in the B scale is an E. So we got our B7 shape down here, and then we're just going to emphasize the E. So a regular B7 open would be here. We're going to emphasize that E. It just kind of amplifies the top part there. And so that's pretty much it. The only chord we didn't mention was the D sustained second, but that's a really easy chord to play. It comes right after that E major, so you got the woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. They really just kind of emphasize those three notes. Yeah, so if this is our D shape, we play D sustained second by dropping one finger on the highest string, and it becomes an E. So regular D, D sustained second. Kind of see the pattern here. Every time you have a sustained second or a sustained fourth, you're usually just dropping a finger or adding a finger. And so that's the whole song. And now that I wasted 10 minutes on that nonsense, I'm actually going to play it. I saw the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made trade. And though the news was rather sad, well, I just had to laugh. The photograph. He blew his mind out in a car. He didn't notice that the lights had changed. A crowd of people stood and stared. They'd seen his face before. Nobody was really sure if he was from the House of POGG. I saw a film today, oh boy. The English army had just won the war. Of people turned away, but I just had to look. They read the book. I'd love to turn. Woke up, fell out of bed, dragged a comb across my head. Found my way downstairs and drank a cup. And looking up, I noticed I was late. Found my coat and my hat, made the bus in seconds flat. Found my way upstairs and house smoking. Somebody spoke and I went into a dream. I read the news today, oh boy. 4,000 hoes in Blackburn, Lancashire. And though the holes were rather small, they had to count them all. Now to know how many holes to Oh.